Alright, so as you guys know, I've had my fair share of encounters with Karens, but very rarely, in fact, one time, have I ever witnessed a Karen stealing money out of a kid's wallet. And that's the story time we're going to be talking about today, so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this story takes place a bit ago, back when I was a young teenager. I don't think I was able to drive yet, or at least I wasn't driving on this particular occasion, and I was at the mall with some of my friends, just kind of goofing off, hanging out, and we were in the food court eating. And I remember at the time, we were munching on chow mein, just goofing off, and then we decided that we were done eating and it was time to go, move on and explore some shops or whatever. And right across from the food court in this mall was, this skate shop that we would kind of go to whenever we were at the mall that had really good vibes and cool stuff in there, not trying to sound too much like a surfer bro. That being said, it was just the coolest place in the mall to us. So we go over there, and when we get inside the store, we start looking around, and my friend wants to buy a new deck. So he goes to pull out his wallet, and he's like, oh crap, I have no clue where my wallet is. He realizes he forgot it. And so the only place we had been in the mall so far was the food court. That's where we started. So we just go tell him to go look on the table, because obviously he had paid for his food, so he had his wallet. So he starts to go over to the table, and we look out just to see what's going on over there. And as he's running over to check his wallet, we see this lady and her 5-year-old son standing there. And we cannot believe what we're seeing, because the lady is taking money out of his wallet right next to her kid, bro, fully within reach. She was giving him the tutorial on how to take money out of people's wallets. And so when we see this lady taking the money, we decide that we've got to get over there. So we rush out of the store, we start backing up our friend, and obviously he gets there a little bit before us because he left earlier. And so when we pull up, all I hear is why are you taking my money? What's wrong with you? Are you serious? You're actually trying to rob me right now? What's wrong with you? And the lady is obviously just kind of caught off guard, It's not like she expected the person whose wallet this was to walk up as she was taking money out of it. So she's like, no, I'm not taking money. I was putting money in the wallet, actually. No, I do this thing where if I see a lost wallet, I put money in it. And listen, man, obviously all of us are okay, yeah, sure. You're running around here filling wallets with money, You're running around here being the financial tooth fairy, just giving cash to unfortunate souls who lose their wallet. Yeah, that's right, guys. Did you hear the legend? If you lose your wallet at this mall, you wake up to a beautiful extra $50. Ulysses S. Grant himself winks at you. Obviously, we knew that this lady was full of it, dude. And even then, it's pretty obvious when someone's taking something out of a wallet or putting it in, even from a distance. But just to, prove his point, my friend is like, all right, then give me the wallet and let me count the cash. If you really were putting money in my wallet, then when I count this, it should be more than what was in there. And so the lady hands him the wallet, right? And so he starts to go through it and starts counting. And obviously at the time we were broke teenagers, so it's not like there was a lot of money in the wallet, which, almost made it worse because she had done all of this for a really small amount of money. And I guess he had 8 $5 bills in his wallet, just $40, nothing too crazy. But when he's in his wallet, he pulls out 2 $5 bills. So this lady had gone to the lengths of stealing $30 from this wallet that was left at the food court. She was really out here on her trying to get a savings account up, stealing $30 at a time. I'm not really sure why they were like that, but regardless, my friend is obviously pissed because he's like, where is my money? There was $40 in here, now there's only 10. I thought you said you put money in here. Keep in mind, we are kids, dude. This lady had literally gone out of her way to steal $30 from a bunch of teenagers. And even on top of it, we literally catch her in the act, and her first explanation is she's giving us money. How dumb do you think we are? Did you think we weren't going to look in the wallet and, count? Do you think we weren't aware of what counting means? I'm pretty sure everybody that had spent any time watching Sesame Street would at least know how to count to, 5 or 6, okay? And that's really all you need to be able to do to notice there's some money missing in here. Anyways, my friend is obviously pretty pissed off at this point because he's been stolen from. I'm still kind of watching with the rest of the squad, and he's like, all right, give me my money back. Come on. All right, you've been caught. Just give me the money back and let's just go our separate ways. I don't want any trouble. But the mom at that point goes from like financial tooth fairy running around giving free money to people to a demon spawn in literally 1 second. Because once my friend's like, all right, give me my money, come on, she starts screaming, help, help, they're trying to rob me, somebody help me, I'm scared, help. And obviously at that point, we're like, crap, this does not look good, right? Because, there's just a bunch of kids standing around with some ladies screaming help. So we all back up with our hands up. We're like, whoa, nothing's going on. But my friend doesn't back up. He's like, give me my money. Now he's getting more mad because she's trying to like get us in trouble instead of just giving him his $30 back. And in my mind, like all of this over $30, $300, I guess I could understand her scene a little bit more. It's still wrong to steal it and she shouldn't have done it, but I could understand wanting to cause this big of a scene. But like $30 to start making people think that we're robbing you? Come on, man. So we're backing up and these security guards come running over, which is, their job. I'm not going to be mad at them for like coming over and investigating. And I don't have any disrespect for security guards. But I'll be honest, for the purpose of the story, these particular security guards were power tripping, bro. They were the opposite of Paul Blart. You know how he stood for what was right, and was a nice man? These guards were power tripping. I don't even know how you get a power trip when you drive a Segway as a solid chunk of your job description. Like, you gotta have a little self-awareness. But they come over just, power tripping. They, like, push us out of the way. They're like, what seems to be the problem here? And my friend starts to talk, and, like, he's not pissed, he's not screaming, he's very calmly explaining that, like, all right, me and my friends were eating lunch here, we were at this table, we go to left, this is my wallet, I got to the store, realized I forgot my wallet, came back, as I'm coming back, I see this lady with my wallet in her hand taking cash out. So I confronted her, she said she's putting money in the wallet. I counted the money, and $30 is missing. And the security guard is kind of looking at him, nodding during all of this, and as soon as my friend is done talking, instead of like, I don't know, saying, oh, okay, well, we'll get to the bottom of this or anything, he just goes, do you think I'm stupid? And my friend's obviously a little bit taken aback. He's like, no, not at all. I didn't say you were stupid. I'm just telling you what's happening. And he's like, you expect us to believe that this woman, this mother, would ever steal from a teenager? Do you think I'm stupid? And listen, I mean, no, I don't think you're stupid. It sounds ridiculous. Obviously, we all agree that this lady shouldn't be stealing money from people's wallets with their kid. We're not disagreeing with it being pathetic. But yeah, we're not making it up. I understand why the security guards thought it sounded made up, because it does sound ridiculous. It sounds like something that would never happen, but we really weren't lying. And so at that point, we see that they're kind of turning on my friend. So the rest of our little group is kind of like, no, he's not, lying, I swear. Like, we saw it too. And they blow us off. They're like, yeah, whatever. Come on. This is a far-fetched story. You need to stop, like, trying to get this lady in trouble. And at that point, I try to say something else along the lines of, like, we're not lying. But mid-sentence, he's like, shut up, okay? I'm not asking you any more questions. And usually I got a problem keeping my mouth shut, but I knew the security guard was a little bit more in charge of the situation, so I just kind of shut up. And at that point, he asked the mom what happened. And obviously, this lady is not going to come out and be like, yeah, I was just trying to steal some money and they walked up. Like, she's not going to say that. Why would she ever do that? So she continues to stick to the story. I don't know. I was just walking past this table and all these kids ran up and started accosting me, saying that I needed to give them back their money, and honestly, I thought they were trying to rob me. And it's just like, okay, lady, we weren't trying to rob you. We didn't accost you out of nowhere. Believe it or not, me and my friends don't roll around just screaming at people for no reason. Like, it's not a fun thing to do. And we weren't even screaming, to be fair. We were just like, give him his money back. And so at that point, I'm annoyed. She's lying, right? So I tell the security guard, go check the cameras. And I point. There's a security camera like right above the table. And in my mind, I thought that was the good thing to do, right? Hey, that's why you have security cameras, so that way you can review the footage and see what really happened. That's the point of them. I guess not, dude. I guess I caught this dude on a bad day, because he turns and like shoves his finger in my face and starts going on this rant about how, he's worked in mall security for 25 years and he doesn't need young people coming in here telling him how to do his job. And I wasn't even trying to be disrespectful, bro. I just thought checking the cameras was the best solution. You have two people disagreeing on what happened. If you have footage of what happened, that kind of nips this whole thing in the bud, doesn't it? After all, like, why did you even bother paying reasoning to have all these cameras installed if you're never going to check them whenever there might have been a crime? So, whatever. At that point, he's pissed off at us. He thinks we're being disrespectful and, we're causing problems for him on purpose. And we really were not. We were just trying to get his money back. And he's decided that we suck. And at that point, he thinks the mom's telling the truth about everything. And he goes to kick us out. Which, listen, if this was, if I was the guard in this situation, I think I would be skeptical, but just check the cameras. If they're this adamant that she really stole the money, the least you could do is review the footage. So they go to start escorting us out of the mall, and my friend's obviously freaking out because it's his money, his money was the money that had been taken. It sucked. I didn't want to leave. I felt like it was wrong, but it wasn't my money, so I wasn't about to freak out about it. And as we're walking out, the mom says, "Hey boys." And we turn around and she flashes this $5 bill in her hand. And you can see that it's a decent stack of them. Nothing too crazy, but more than one. And we instantly know that's the money she took from the wallet. Those are the $5 bills. And at that point, I think my friend just kind of snapped. Now she's taunting him. But he doesn't attack her. Instead, he just kind of ducks the security guard's arms that are pushing us out towards the exit, sprints and just grabs the money out of the mom's hands, rips it out of her hands. I don't think she was expecting it. The money didn't rip, but he just kind of grabs it and then just starts running towards the exit on the other side of the mall as fast as he can, right? And at that point, the security guards that are escorting us out turn and just start to chase him. Because in their mind, the mom's telling the truth. We just, yelled at her out of nowhere, whatever. So to the security guards, he just robbed this lady. He just took her money and took off running. Obviously, it was his money. He didn't steal anything, but the security guards are not on our side, so they take off after him. And so now it's just us and the lady and her kid, and we're stunned. She's stunned. Everybody's just kind of standing there. And my other friend, who happened to be the guy who was driving, looks at the table we were sitting at, sees that my friend's wallet is still there. He had left the wallet grabbed when he had ran and grabbed the cash. And so we're all standing there stunned for probably about 15 seconds. And once my friend sees the friend who escapes wallet, he grabs it and he starts running, not the direction he went, but the other way towards the exit. And like I said, he's the guy that was driving. My only way out of the mall at this point is with that guy, unless I want to walk home. So when he starts sprinting, I take off. The other guy we're with takes off. And now we're just sprinting through the mall. There's nobody on our tail or anything, but we're all right, it's probably better to not hang out and see if they have more security. Let's just go. And so we get out into the parking lot and, we get into his car. He turns it on and we're like, do we wait for our friend? What do we do? And almost like the universe opened up at that moment as we're talking about whether or not we leave him. I'm looking and it's a pretty big mall. So, you can kind of see when people are coming around the corner into this part of the parking lot. And I look and I see our friend run around the corner and start running towards the car. And probably about 100 feet behind him, these mall cops weren't in the best shape ever. Our two mall cops still on his tail chasing him. It kind of reminded me of that scene from Pirates of the Caribbean when Jack Sparrow's running with everybody behind him. Obviously way less intense than a whole tribe. It was just two out of shape security guards, but he's running over to the car. And, we're freaking out. We're like, oh my God, here he comes, here he comes. And so he's running and my friend backs out the car and turns. And there was me and then one guy in the back seat. And the guy in the back seat rolls down the window on the side that he's running up from. And we have the car so that way, when he gets in, we can just go. We don't have to back out of the parking spot, we're ready to go. And so we're watching him run up. And sure enough, he gets up to the car, dives through the window like Call of Duty Black Ops original dolphin dive, dude. Just dives into the window and just starts screaming, go, 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 go. And he just stomps on the gas and we get out of there. And probably until we got to the freeway, the only things that were said was just what the, oh my God, what just happened? That was insane. Didn't you guys believe that? And we finally get on the freeway and everybody calms down a bit to actually talk about what just happened, a little bit more in detail. And so we ask our friend whose money it was who had grabbed the money. We're like, when you grabbed the money and ran, what were you thinking? He's like, I wasn't thinking. I knew she was taunting me with my money, so I just grabbed it. And we're like, dude, what do you think? What was going through your mind while you were running? And he's like, when the guards were chasing me, the only thing I could keep thinking, and he looks at me and his eyes are huge. He's like, bro, his mom stole my money. His mom stole my money. I can't believe his mom stole my money. which honestly just cracked us up because none of us could believe that this lady was just at the mall with her 5-year-old before casually deciding to go out of her way to steal $30 from some dude's wallet. Like, what in the world, dude? That kid's gotta have some weird life lessons. I didn't realize how weird my childhood was until I started taking money out of people's wallets and they didn't want to be my friend. Anyways, he's continues to talk. He's like, his mom stole my money. I couldn't let that happen. I had to get my money back. And we are just laughing hysterically, dude. Obviously, those mall cops really thought the situation was something it wasn't. But in our mind, we didn't do anything wrong. We just took the stolen money back from the person who stole it because we weren't going to get it back. So, yeah, all in all, pretty funny situation. I've never seen somebody dive into a car with so much energy, it really felt like I was in a spy movie making the great escape. I just still can't believe the guards kicked us out for this situation, We didn't steal anything, we didn't harass anyone, we weren't accosting anyone. If you would have checked the cameras for 15 seconds, you probably would have been able to see what was going on, but no. Anyways, I guess the moral of the story is don't steal, or the better moral is make sure you don't leave your wallet in the food court at the mall, I guess. Alright guys, so that was one story, but I actually had one sent in to me about a mom stealing stuff that wasn't crazy long, so here you go, your first official bonus story time. So the person who sent this in to me was working in a grocery store, and one day while he was mopping the floors, this manager came up to him and said he wanted him to keep an eye on this lady. And he was really confused because he takes a look and this lady is pushing a stroller, and it was kind of weird that he wanted him to keep an eye on this lady pushing the stroller. He didn't know why. And so he's pushing this broom about 50 feet behind this lady, just kind of trailing her a little bit, making sure nothing's going on. And she goes up one aisle, down the other aisle, and they get into the alcohol aisle. And he can't believe it, but as he's watching, the lady looks to see if anyone's around. She doesn't see him, and then she takes these huge bottles of vodka and puts them in the stroller. And the person who sent this to me literally can't believe what they're seeing. They're like, holy crap, did she really bring a fake stroller just to get away with stealing this stuff? And yeah, apparently, unless there's a baby now smushed under a bunch of bottles of vodka, this lady brought the whole stroller setup just to get away with getting out of the store. And at that point, now that he's seen that, he goes to the manager. He's like, yeah, I saw her putting vodka bottles in the stroller. And he's like, all right, well, let's go ask her to give them back. So they go to confront her, and the manager's leading the way, and he's like, ma'am, can you please give us the merchandise in the stroller? Which is very straight up. It's a good way of being like, yeah, you're busted, just give us it back. And she goes, what? I have nothing but a baby in this stroller, which honestly, I'm going to give kudos for trying to go with the commitment, At this point, it's pretty obvious you're busted. If they walk up to you and say, give us the stuff in the stroller, they know there's stuff in the stroller. But, the manager is kind of like, no, ma'am, we know there's not a baby in the stroller. We have cameras. We saw what you put in there. Please give us the bottles of vodka. And at that point, the lady, this fake mom with the stroller, ponders for a second. And then she goes, well, and then flips the stroller towards the manager. And obviously, when she flips the stroller towards the manager, the bottles go flying everywhere. And if you've ever thrown a glass bottle, you know what happens when it smacks into tile or something. It shatters. So, of course, all these huge bottles just get shattered and smashed onto the ground, There's a little small tidal wave of vodka just rushing down the aisle, going everywhere. If Sausage Party was real, everything under the shelves would have been wasted from now until next Tuesday. It would have just been not a great situation. Anyways, while this tsunami's going on, there's glass everywhere. The lady, this mother of the year over here, is making the great escape. She had started sprinting down the aisle, jumped over the puddle, and tried to get to the door. But as she's going to run down the aisle, she turns around to taunt the manager and the worker, and she falls and eats crap. And by the way she falls, you can tell that it really hurt. There's probably an injury or something. And so she's just kind of sitting there, and then she gets up after a second, and she turns to yell, stay back, But when she yells, stay back, the subscriber who sent this to me is looking at her, and he sees that her mouth is bloody and her front tooth is missing, dude. So this is literally just the worst thief of all time. She came in to get some vodka. Next thing you know, she's toothless, running around after knocking her tooth out, trying to steal vodka and losing the stroller. Not only did she lose the stroller, not only did she lose the tooth, but I feel like you gotta lose your dignity a little bit after all this too. There's absolutely nothing wrong with missing a tooth. I'm not saying that. But if you tell me that you lost your front tooth because you took a fake stroller to the grocery store to steal a bunch of vodka and they caught you, so you were trying to escape and taunt them and fell, I feel like, maybe that gives me a little bit of ground to make fun of you, maybe just a tiny little small amount. Obviously, she keeps running out of the store, and once she gets out of the store, the manager's like, leave it. She doesn't have any product. There's no reason for us to go after her, so just forget it. And so the worker turns around and sees the manager standing in this middle of this giant mess, looking pretty emo. And so they're cleaning it up, and he asked his manager, he's like, I'm just curious. I didn't realize, I would have never thought that a lady with a stroller was like gonna steal anything. What made you realize that she didn't have a baby in there? Which, fair question, one that I actually am a little bit curious of. And he kind of is like, well, here's the issue. I figured it was fake because she kept like crashing the stroller into everything. What mom is going to push around a stroller like a demolition derby with a baby sleeping inside of it? No one's going to do that. Could you imagine there was a baby in there? He's just getting smacked into every aisle, every end piece. Gong, gong, gong. He's like, I need a helmet in here. Seriously, though, the best part of this, in my opinion, was later he was cleaning up the aisle, really sweeping it up before the store closed, and he ended up finding her tooth. That's really, really bad thief work. The bandit left a little bit more than she expected, a whole tooth behind. Moral of the story, don't steal with a fake stroller. And also, moral of the story, don't commit crime. And if you are going to commit crime, don't leave your tooth at the scene of the crime. It kind of makes solving that pretty easy. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought. And, of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. If you really want to help me out, I'll put a link to the intro song down below, along with the link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. It's a great way to get a discount on G Fuel. Help me out at the same time. I'd very much appreciate it. And while I've got your attention, I'm going to go ahead and plug my third channel. It's called Scrubby. I'll put a link in the description, but I just kind of talk about stocks and finance stuff on there. So if that's boring to you, you don't got to go watch it. But if it does interest you, like I said, I'll put the link in the top of the description, so go check it out. And yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it for the video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.